Welcome to Generative AI Face-Off, a comparison of top image generators presented by Designlab. Our host today is Carolina de Bartolo. Carolina is joining us. She is a Designlab mentor. She is a designer and AI author, an educator, AI artist, and a Designlab mentor here with us, as I mentioned previously. And something I just wanted to mention to y'all is that we are running a little bit of a promotion today, which is going to be a special $100 off any of our courses. If you have maybe taken a course with us before, or you've been interested in taking a course and just haven't been waiting for the right moment, this is a great time to do so. We have a discount code, which is going to be New Year 100. I'm going to drop that into the chat as well. And anyone can feel free to grab that and utilize it to sign up for one of our courses. And I will definitely share out our course catalog in the chat as well. Cool. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Carolina so that we can get started. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I am also going to just turn my camera off and my mic off as to not be distracting.
Hi, everybody. I did just type in the chat that there was a little typo in that discount code, so I think it's NEW year. Anyway, yeah, my name's Carolina. Thank you for the warm welcome, Emily. And I'm going to share my screen if I can. Oops. Share screen. Let's see if it doesn't allow me to share a specific window. I can only share the window I'm in, but I don't want to share the window I'm in. Let's see. Share a window. Okay, I see. Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to get to share the other window. I found it. So today I thought we would take a look at a couple different AI platforms where you can make images. And that's a lot of what you do in the AI for Visual Design course. And we'll kind of compare and contrast the different platforms a little bit. So first platform that I'm on here is called Visual Electric. And so one of the things to know is that these platforms all create different kind of qualities of images, right? And so if you look at this Visual Electric inspiration gallery, now this is not all the images that
Carolina, I'm so yes. Sorry, but we can only see a blank screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Screen sharing. I see it on my version of the, Okay, let's try something. Can I unshare and then reshare? Let's see. Sorry for the
yeah, if you go to the share thing, you should be able to unshare it.
Okay, let's try again. Share screen. Tell me if you see it now.
No, it still just looks blank.
Let me try reloading this page and see what happens.
Are you just like in a tab online?
Yes.
Oh, that's really odd.
I see it on my version of live stream. I see my.
That's really weird.
Oh, it's not working.
I know, it was just working.
Huh. Okay. Let me try something else. See if I can start a different screen share of this page. Oops. The problem is I don't want to share the screen where I'm in this meeting. But let's see if I do it anyway, if it works, and then at least we'll know that. Allow to share window. Share this window. Okay, and then I go over here.
There we go. I can see that.
Okay, that's kind of bizarro, but okay, now I'm able to do it. Now I have to just copy all my links over into this window. Okay, so I had it all set up with all my tabs, but now I don't have it. Okay, so first one, Visual Electric. As you can see, image quality, very, very nice, high quality. This is a platform that was kind of designed by and for designers. And this is a curated selection of images that have been created on their platform. Okay, so let's get another tab going here. Let's look at Midjourney's selection of inspirational images. Here they are. So hopefully pretty much right away you can see there are some, this looks like a very beautiful image right here with this automobile, but there's also a lot of images that are not nearly as nice. Now these are all the images that are being created in the moment. I don't know if this is a curated gallery, or maybe this is a curated gallery as well, but you can see that there's a lot different qualitative difference between, these image generators. Midjourney is probably the widest range of different things that people make on it. So just so you know, that's the kind of thing that happens with these different image generators, is that they all have kind of a qualitative difference amongst them. So I'll show you the next one, which I was going to show you, which is Ideogram. Here's Ideogram. And then you can see the kind of quality of images that you start to get over here. They're a little bit more, pedestrian, you might say, these images, in my opinion. So just so you know, that's the kind of thing you're going to get using this platform. That doesn't mean that you couldn't do a prompt and have something that's much better than what you see on here, but that's one thing that you can discern the differences between the platforms using just their own image galleries themselves. So here's the next one that I'll show you, which is called Firefly. It's Adobe's product. And then you can see how these ones, they start to have also a certain similarity to them, almost like you can kind of tell that these images were made with AI, right? Rather than looking like images that were made in some other way, Maybe that one doesn't look too different. The other thing that you'll notice is that, or too much like it was made by AI. The other thing that we notice in all these cases is that if you hover over the image, it usually just will, this one not hovering, but eventually if you click through, you'll see what the prompt was for each one. So that one doesn't show you right away. Visual Electric. Oh yeah, you have to click through. So for example, if we found an image on Visual Electric, let's see if we can find one that could be a good example for us to start with. I can find the one I saw yesterday. Must be further down the list. Here it is, this one. So I kind of like this greenhouse image. And so once I click into it, I can just see exactly what this person used as the prompt. So I can just copy the prompt. Copy. I can also just go ahead and add this to my canvas on Visual Electric. So I'll just click through to do that, and I'll add this image directly to my canvas. Visual Electric is kind of nice because it also has this kind of infinite canvas, and it has like a real UI. So, if you're a designer and you kind of know what you're doing, or you've experienced this stuff before, you kind of like to have a UI and not just a chat. So I can just go ahead and paste this in. I'll keep all the defaults here. It starts off with photography and it's a square image, and I'll just say I'm going to try this image. I wonder why it's asking me for 2 volts. Oh, maybe because, oops, I'm going to change it to just giving me 1 image at a time. Because I'm cheap. I don't have very many credits left in this platform, so I'm going to just get that one to generate that one. And then I'll go over here to Midjourney. I'll say, put the same prompt in there. And sometimes this one, it's missing the little, I noticed that, but see that you need this little send button, but sometimes it goes away for some reason when you type your prompt in, so that's a little glitch on their end. So I'll just do that, submit that one, and notice that it doesn't go over to where it's being submitted. I'll have to find that later. Here it is in Ideogram. I'm going to paste the same prompt. Paste. There it goes. In this one, I'm having, I think the default is have it auto, but I turned it off, just so you know. And then I'll keep this one as 1 by 1 and 2, since most of the other ones are on square format. And I'm also just going to leave the default of the auto color palette, and so I will generate that. And then we'll do the same one in Firefly. Take the same prompt. This one, you go to the home, and then you can put that one in. It's the exact same prompt, I'm just copy pasting it. And then I need to go over to this one. I think this is where here we go. So that's the same prompt that we had in Visual Electric. Let's see what Visual Electric gave us. Visual Electric gave us that. So it's still pretty different from the one that was here, based on the same prompt. And then here's the ones that came out of Midjourney. It gives you 4 at a time from Midjourney, so you can see how different those are from the original. And then this one, okay, that's my Midjourney, which is and then Ideogram, where'd mine go? Here they are. That one, that one, that one. This one, the color is much more unsaturated, you know. And then in Firefly, here they are. Oh, and then this one, you can see how the color is not saturated. It's very saturated in this one. They all kind of put it in an environment. So I'm not sure if in the prompt it didn't mention to have it on a in kind of a empty room like this. So anyway, in Visual Electric, you can also change what different kinds of models that you want to use. So you could change this whole prompt into an illustration instead. So we could try that, for example. And then in Midjourney, what I could do if I wanted to get closer to the original, so I could take that same image and use it. I can click on this button. And I had previously downloaded the image. See if I will do it for me. Come on. Here we go. Choose a file or drop it here. Can add this image, which I think I have on my desktop here. Upload it. So you can kind of use it as a reference. I'll keep this prompt the same. Which seems to have disappeared. See if I can find that prompt again. Oh, here it is. It's over here. My computer's going, I think it doesn't like all this screen sharing. Let's see here. It didn't upload the image either, it doesn't look like. In Ideogram, we'll move on to Ideogram. And what we'll do is, let's see if I can change this. I'll change to Magic Prompt. I'll turn it on. And so Magic Prompt means that it will adjust the prompt based on what it thinks would be a better prompt for the AI. And because it came out kind of dull, I wonder if I can give it a more vibrant color palette. Maybe how about Melon, for example. Try that, and we'll generate a couple more. Firefly, a couple things I could do. I could give it a reference image, and I could give it a style image so that it would get a little closer to the original image. So for example, I could click on this. Can try getting this one to upload this image. I'll say OK to that. And then this one has a style reference. This one would be a composition reference. I could put the same image in for composition. We'll see what happens actually. Put it in for both style and composition. And then we'll keep the prompt the same. There's my prompt. I'll copy paste it so I can use it on my other one that I was trying to use it on. And say generate. See what happens over there. Go back over here. Now I got my illustration in Visual Electric. You can see that, very different, but a different quality that you can get. So it's kind of nice because you can use lots of different models in this one. And then in this one, it doesn't seem to like what I tried. Let's see if we can try again. Put the same prompt in. And then I want to add an image too. Come on. It was there. the Midjourney web app can be a little bit finicky. So sometimes it might be easier to use it in Discord. But there it goes. Let's see what we got on Ideogram. Here's our new ones with the magic prompt and the new color palette. So it's still not similar to the original, but you might find something that you like in here too. And you can also keep trying. You can change your prompt. You could use a chat bot, to help you fix your prompt. And then I'll show you one other thing that you could do. Let's see. Oh, this one's getting quite a lot better, as you can see. If I was aiming for that an image that was really similar to the first image. So that one's starting to understand what I'm after a little bit better when I give it that reference image, both for composition and for style. So we could take off, for example, maybe the style image and just see if it gets any better. We'll just do one rather than both images for composition and style, for example. And then the other thing that you could try here we go. These guys, I'll show you what happened with this one. This still gives me kind of a background of like a jungle background, so it doesn't have the empty space that the original had, but it's getting closer, for example. Or once again, like I say, maybe you don't want the exact same image, you just want something similar or something along those lines, right? So that's the kind of thing that you can do with these tools. The other thing that you can do if you use the Discord version of Midjourney, let me get that tab for you here. Is that you can use /describe. I don't think this is available on the web app yet, but I'm going to upload that image again. Here, upload. And this is also called reverse prompting. So you can start to ask the AI, what would a prompt be if you had that image? And so it tells you even the aspect ratio of the image, for example. So the other thing that you can try is to imagine all of these. I'm going to just double check here my settings in Midjourney. I usually have a whole bunch of unusual settings for myself. Keep it on, well, actually I think the default is medium. So, okay, let's do that. And then I'm going to say imagine. So it's going to imagine all 4 of these reverse generated prompts. I'll take a look at that. You hear my Discord going off. So that is your comparison of the different kinds of AIs. And let me think if I was anything else that I wanted to mention. Let's see. There we go. Here's my new ones that were just made from those reverse prompting. So you can see how those came out. So kind of interesting. So there's a lot of different ways to get images based on other images, or once again, you can start from scratch. Of course, you can use these tools in all different ways, and you can use them for different purposes. You can use them in combination. If, for example, I liked this image that I got out of Firefly, I can download it. Oops. And I could bring that over into Ideogram as, let's see, not Ideogram. I don't think you can do that, a reference image, but I can pull that reference image over here, right? So I can pull it in as a reference image and then start building off of there with or without, prompting. Especially in the Discord version, you can do things like blending, for example. You can't do that on the web app as far as I know, but you could blend more than one image. So for example, I could get that one that I just made, and then the one that this one, upload, and then maybe this one, upload. Could mix them together, see what happens. For example, that's blend. So lots of possibilities for how to get something, but they all have their kind of strengths and weaknesses, and you can kind of see the difference in image qualities, hopefully, from one platform to another. Refresh this again so you can see the blended ones. Okay, so I think if there aren't any questions right now, I could throw it back over to Emily and see if there's anything further that you wanted me to show you, or to if there's anything that's in the questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to just go ahead, and if you want to stop screen sharing for a second, Carolina.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and share my screen just so that I can chat a little bit about our AI for Visual Design course. Here we go. 1 second. So do you have like a favorite tool that you would prefer to use, Carolina, in terms of when you're, working through, you're creating, with an AI platform?
I tend to use Midjourney a lot. I use Visual Electric fairly often. I use the equivalent of Firefly inside of Photoshop quite a lot myself. So I don't use Firefly like directly, but a lot of times I use Firefly for the AI inside of the Photoshop beta. So if you have the Photoshop beta app, they have kind of the Firefly AI inside of there. So it's kind of nice for what's called either in painting or out painting. So you have an image, maybe in my case, for me, often an AI generated image, but it's not perfect. Or it's square, and so now I need it to be, horizontal, for example. So I stick the image on one side or the other in the middle, and then I out paint it and I add more to the sides, for example. You might have just doodads in there that you don't want, and so you can use the Photoshop AI that, okay, take out this dog or take out this cloud, or whatever it might be that you want to take out, or insert something. That's the other thing that you can use it. You can do that directly in Midjourney, but sometimes I end up doing things in Photoshop because I'm already in Photoshop, and so a lot of them have very similar capabilities, right? That you can do different things in them, and so it just depends on what's most convenient for you and what goes with your workflow also. Oops, I think you might be muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm most familiar with Firefly because I work frequently in Photoshop, so it's okay. It's a good tool. There's a lot of use cases for it, for sure. Even for me as a photographer, So.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Cool. Let's see. I see a few questions over there. Should I go for it, or you want to go for the?
I'm going to just hop back into the presentation real quick to talk a little bit about AI for visual design.
Okay.
And then yeah, we will go ahead and jump back and answer all the questions that are over the top. Sorry, let's get this into presenter view. Okay, cool. Can everybody see my screen? Awesome. Cool. So AI for Visual Design is a 4-week course, and it is really for all levels of creative professionals. So if you are a designer working, within UX UI, or if you're just someone who's really looking to better understand how to utilize AI in any creative workflow or generally, it's a great program. It's approximately 4 to 6 hours per week in terms of time commitment over 4 weeks. And the structure of the course is it's hybrid. So there are going to be weekly lessons, which are presented in conjunction with our course creator session, and he leads those live sessions every week. But if you can't attend them, you can always attend them later. That's not a problem whatsoever. We give the recordings to all of our students, really accessible. So there is a bunch of flexibility. And then you'll also have weekly group sessions every week. And those are going to be facilitated by one of our mentors, such as Carolina. And in those sessions, you'll be able to come together, collaborate, share your work, ask questions, see demos, and really gain a better understanding of what you're working on in the course on a week-to-week basis. The price point is $7.99, but if you're interested in taking the course and you wanted to utilize our discount that we're presenting today, it would be $6.99. And our next cohort launches this coming Friday on January 10th, and we do still have a few seats available in that course, I believe. Some of the tools that you'll learn to work with are DALL-E, Midjourney, Runway, which is more for video, ChatGPT, Leonardo AI, and so, really some of the leading tools across the market that you hear a lot of design professionals working with. So in terms of the way the course is formatted, week 1, you're really understanding how to use AI and use it as a tool, kind of like a colleague or collaborator in terms of your creativity. Week 2 is really focused on understanding prompt crafting, transforming your concepts into imagery, and how to do that effectively. In week 3, you're becoming what we like to say a master of image manipulation. So really understanding how to take prompts, various prompts, maybe different images, stitch them together, really understand how to use AI to its full creative benefit. And in week 4, we focus a little bit more on bringing images to life with animation, utilizing AI. So taking images, animating them, creating short format animations, things like that. And then this is just an example from one of the projects that we think this came out really, really cool. One of the projects that we give folks is that they can create a photo shoot. And in this particular setting, someone had done a prompt in which they combined different types of fashion with different types of art stylings in combination with mushrooms. So it was a really, really fun, really successful project, and really gives you an idea of, how much you can do with AI, how much drama you can create, and that it's really, your canvas in terms of how you choose to utilize it in your work. And so if you took the course, this is something that you would work through. You'd come up with, a full kind of fashion booklet in terms of a photo shoot. It's a really, really fun project. And then these are just some testimonials that we had from previous students who've come through the course. As leader of a content and video team, I am now able to explain to my CEO with more authority what we can use AI for to strengthen our workflows and where it is not there yet for use in client work. So super important, understanding what it can and cannot do, because of course there are still some limitations to AI. The instructor's enthusiasm for AI made this course a pleasure. Just in the month-long duration of this class, I have completed many work projects using what I have learned. I had been using generative AI on my own, off and on for over a year, but this class gave me a huge boost to my ability. The weekly projects were the best part of the course. For the final project, I used 4 or 5 different AI platforms to create a social media campaign with video content. It's totally crazy you can do with AI these days, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. So really understanding, that you can use it for all different types of things in terms of, your creativity. If you're a marketer, if you're a designer, if you're an educator, there's a lot of different use cases for these types of platforms. Cool, and I'm gonna hand it back over to Carolina for questions. And Carolina, can you see the questions tab and you can see the questions coming through?
Yeah, I see them. So I'll just start at the top. Oh, hang on. Is that the top? It wasn't the top of the other. Oh, maybe they're in reverse order. Sure. Okay, here at the top. Jamie, does anyone have recommendations on AI for copywriting? You could use pretty much any of the chat AIs, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or some of the most popular ones, I think. I use Gemini quite a lot myself. I kind of like that one. It doesn't seem to be charging anything for as long as I want to talk to it. So I kind of like that. And then Claude, I find, has very nice quality of writing. So if you have to, really write something that's going to go out to the public and, needs to be very nicely worded, I would say that is that's kind of a nice one to try. It isn't as free though. Like you'll just get started and it'll say, sorry, come back in 3 hours. Your credits are up. So you do have to pay for it if you want to use it continuously. Okay, so these questions are coming in all different orders. Let's see, I'm going to go above. Justin's. Okay, what image library does Visual Electric pull from? Is it open source or are the photos referred to within the Visual Electric library? So Visual Electric made an announcement at some point saying that this is proprietary information and they are not sharing that with anybody. I believe they started off building their library on Stable Diffusion, but I could be wrong. But yeah, they no longer will say where their images are coming from because they find that to be a proprietary, their intellectual property. Okay, John Lucas, can you share your thoughts on AI generators for video? We, in the course, the AI for Visual Design course, typically use Runway, but just in the last cohort, there were several AI video ones that people found that they thought were working better for them. And one of them is called, I bookmarked it, and I want to make sure I tell you the right names. Okay, Hailuo, Hailuo AI video. People liked that. So I have not tried it too much because I'm not too much of a video person, but people were getting good results with that, just so you know. Okay, and then let's see. Brian Johnson, as a product designer student, I'm curious to know where these tools come into value. What are some use cases? Well, for example, one of the use cases I had, by the way, Emily, would it be okay if I shared my screen again?
Oh yeah, of course. Let me go ahead.
I could show.
Stop
Could
sharing.
show
There you
something
go.
that I. Okay. Let me pull this up into my tab. Okay. Let's see if I can share again. If I can figure out how to share again. I lost all my tabs. So. Share. Oh, yeah, it doesn't like it if I don't share my same window. So let me find this tab again. So one use case might be for making a, let's see if I can get this out of here so I can see your questions as well. One use case might be for, can you see my screen okay? Since I did take that out of there. One use case is for storyboarding.
It's the black screen again.
Oh goodness, I can't see the questions if I share a screen, I guess. So anyway, it's behaving very badly for me. Sorry about that. In any case, yeah, you could use it for storyboarding. You could use it for, I'll just unshare here. I can stop. Okay, so you can use it for storyboarding so that it makes it a lot easier to make storyboard images, and it's kind of useful for placeholder images if you need them. You could use it to make persona photos, use it for anything that you would use stock photography for, like you don't have an image for that, so you're gonna go make it. You can use it for concepting, you know, so it's like you can use it for location shoots. Like if you need to find a particular location, you want to invent it, you know, you can put it into AI and use it like that. So there's a lot of different use cases you might use it for. Lisa Peruch, is there a reason you didn't cover DALL-E? Well, the reason I didn't cover it is because I had my tabs open in a different window that I couldn't share, and so I forgot to do DALL-E. But you could definitely use ChatGPT and DALL-E to, you know, put your prompt in there and ask it for image generation. I do not find the images that come out of ChatGPT, DALL-E to be usually the kind of thing I'm looking for. I don't have a subscription to that, so and because I don't even use ChatGPT typically just for the chat part, I usually use Gemini. So I didn't show it because I accidentally forgot to, but you could show it. But I don't think you're missing out on too much. I think you'd probably get much better results from something like a Midjourney, a Visual Electric, even Ideogram or Firefly. So those are the ones that I showed because those are the ones I think, you know, kind of cover the basis of what you might want to use. Not to say that you shouldn't use DALL-E, or, you know, if you like it and you're getting your good results, go for it. I mean, everybody's different. My prompting doesn't seem to match up with that particular platform. Okay, ML asks, have you used any AI image generators for logo creation? If so, which ones are good or not so good? There was one that I tried, which is called, it's under design.com. I don't have an AI address, it's under design.com. And it looked like it was working pretty well. I just made a few random sample logos, and they were pretty believable. You could put typography with them and stuff, as I recall, and, you know, select your color palette and stuff. So it wasn't too bad, you know, as a starting point. Again, it's something that, you know, you might, if for a logo, something that's so long-term like that, it's not a placeholder or something like that, you really could, you might want to, you know, not take it straight out of the can, you know, and actually make some adjustments to it after you try, you know, what the AI produces or not. I mean, if it's doing a good job, it's doing a good job. The images I don't think are vectors though, so you may need to redraw it anyway, but at least you have that starting point, you know. Okay, and then Ellen West is asking, are these platforms free to use? What are most UX UIers using these for, and what are the licensing implications? So many of them are free to use for a certain number of images, kind of like I mentioned with Claude. Like you can ask it a certain number of questions, and I don't know how it measures exactly, but eventually it's, you know, after a certain amount of your conversation, it starts saying, sorry, come back in a couple of hours. In the case of Visual Electric, it's free for what they call, I think it's 20 volts a month or a week. And I don't know exactly how they measure volts. It seems to be one image is 1 volt, but I think it just happened that it said it's going to cost me 2 volts to do something. And I wasn't sure why. And Ideogram, same. It's like I have 6 credits. Okay, it's going to cost you 2 credits, but sometimes it says it's just going to cost me 1 credit. So I'm not exactly sure how they calculate. Could be the length of your prompt. Not 100% sure. Oh, the volts thing, it was 2 volts because it was going to generate 2 images, but I changed it down to 1 image, so I only use 1 volt, that sort of thing. So it's pretty much 1 volt for 1 image over at Visual Electric. And then if you run out of images, if you make 20 images and in your time frame there, then you'll have to wait until they re-up you know, a week or a month or whatever it is, and then or pay for it. So most of them are fairly inexpensive to get the lowest level subscription. It could be between $10 and $20 per month. And then you get a lot more images. If you already have a subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud, you get the Firefly, and you get quite a lot of credits in Firefly to generate images. So you shouldn't be too concerned about it if you do have a subscription to Creative Cloud. So that's kind of included, and that's an easy way to use an AI generator. Let's see. And what are most UX UI designers using these days? I'm not sure what other people use the most. I mentioned what I use the most, and I showed you the ones that I tend to gravitate towards. And licensing. So I believe the terms of service in every platform is going to be different, and this also may evolve over time. But right now, I believe, for the most part, that you do not 100% own the images, right? That these AI platforms own some stake in these images. They're not 100% ownable. That's starting to change. There's a few new platforms that have come out. One of them, I believe, is called Alias, where you can have a private version of their software where you can, so for example, if you are a corporation and you cannot be generating images for your brand that are just out there in the world, and available to anybody to use or available for the company to have licensing rights towards, then you need to have this kind of private, sandbox where you can play in and kind of train the model with your own branded images and so forth. So that is an evolving situation, but for now, I wouldn't count on anything being 100% copyrightable to anybody that creates on these platforms. So let's see, it looks like there's some, are there any others? Let's see. Peter Lau, okay, how do you stay updated on the latest advancements in AI and their implications for design? I don't. I stay updated on it just by virtue of being a teacher in these classes, kind of teaching other people the tools. And then also, yeah, I don't read that much about it. I'm interested in AI as a general phenomenon for society, but I haven't read that carefully about, exactly all the image generation and specific AI stuff. So yeah, I haven't dove deep into that area. Yeah, I don't know blog or newsletter recommendations. I just got a piece of my artwork in a magazine called Prompt magazine. And that seems, I haven't read it, but I kind of got a copy of the magazine. I think it's available as a PDF as well, that you can, there were articles, interviews with different artists that were making AI images and philosophical things and stuff. So I'm not sure, but let's see here. Is there anything in the chat? Oh, there's somebody posting. Stella, thank you for posting the pricing for Visual Electric.
Yeah, I think that might be pretty much it on questions.
Okay.
Cool.
Very good. Thank you for all the questions.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. That's awesome. So real quick, I'm just going to share my screen once more and just remind everybody of our special offer, which is 100% off all of our courses until January 31st. You can use the code NewYear100 on any course, including AI for visual design, to get $100 off on any of our upcoming cohorts. I did just share some information in the chat as well about AI for visual design, and I can definitely share that one more time before we sign off. And then last but not least, this is our admissions team. If you'd like to get in contact with our team, I will just put the email in the chat as well, advanced.admissions@designlab.com. If you have any questions, we're happy to help, however we can. And again, we have that coupon that I'm going to put in here, discount code NewYear100 for $100 off any of our courses, including AI for visual design. Carolina, thank you so much for joining us today. It was wonderful to have you. I really appreciate you taking the time and showing us, some of the things that these tools do. And we hope to see you all on a course with us soon.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Emily.
Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.